There's a different kind of tree house we can talk about, and that's tree houses that aren't for people. Well, birds already have tree houses. So if there's a dead tree, a woodpecker will come and it'll knock its head on the wood until it makes a home, and then it'll make another woodpecker. And there's other nests in the trees. There's a lot of pine trees, and those are not very good for nesting in. Sometimes you'll see a big nest of a big type of bird up there. And then there's tons of little nesty spots. I would actually like to make tree houses for birds. And I don't want to make wooden ones that they're nailed together. I don't want to make those kind of tree houses. The way I want to make bird houses, bird houses, not just tree houses, but tree houses for birds. Habitat. So this is habitat expansion. The idea is to take a lot of the branches that are on the ground, and a lot of them don't rot for a very long time. In particular, madrone doesn't rot well, but other things this will work for other things as well. But we want to use long-lasting wood, so it could be oak, madrone, pine would be okay, whatever, do what you can. But we identify spots where we can put bundles of branches. So we tie a bundle of branches together, not with wire, but with probably that kind of string that rots. I like it. And we'll get the thick kind. It's a tan twine, I guess, twine. And if it rots, it's fine. So we bundle those up in that. First we put the branches up there. So we need to get up there. We have tree spikes for climbing trees. We can also use ladders, but it's tricky. Going up in trees is dangerous. And so, anyway, we'll take these branches and select trees that have crooks in them, oaks are perfect for this. They have like spots we can cross like across three things or something. How can we stick these branches in the trees to have maximum biomass up there as habitat? It's not going to hurt the tree, okay? Oaks are very tough. It will not damage a tree. We're not going to nail anything to the tree. So we put these as big of logs as we can really up there, but whatever's convenient. And then on top of that, bundles of branches that are smaller, and those serve to hold the oak leaves that will end up covering that. Okay, that's going to become a platform for oak leaves to fall on, and that creates dry spots below that. Now, birds are really smart. They already make nests all on their own. What we're doing is we're just providing, in each case, a better home, a better space for them to easily make nests, because there's a slight lack of housing potentially for birds. I mean, think about it. You're a bird. You need to make your house in the rain. There's not that many spots that you can pick. I mean, it's hard to make a nest. And so we need nooks and crannies. We need basically things that keep birds out of the rain and the sun. And this provides them a template space in which to create their own nests, and they'll reuse those. So this is actually important for the total bird population. The other factor is water. We solved that by making water oases for birds specifically to take advantage of, so that we've increased it as if there was a lake. I want it to be as if there was a lake here. That much water available for the birds and the wildlife. These tree houses then can be a very important component of that, because right now it's so hard. Now, we don't think about that much because we're not birds, and we think, oh, the birds are smart, they'll figure it out. Well, they will, but they have to have spots. I mean, different types of birds need different types of spots, and so putting these bird bundles up, essentially, and it could be that bees might go on in there. This is great for native bees as well, because they're often pretty exposed. I mean, they're on the side of a tree sometimes, but they like underhangs on buildings, I notice. And so we can make spots. What'll happen is these oak leaves will fall on the bundles. They'll make a kind of a roof. It'll be semi-dry in some spots or not, but better than otherwise. We can also put orchids above that. Those orchids will flower, and then on top of those bird houses, the new orchid babies will grow, because that's the kind of habitat that particular kind of species likes. What else about bundles? Well, it's a reason that sticks have value. So when we do have piles of little branches or something, because we move some plants or something, let's stick them up in the trees. And we could even pick a time of year to do that. I think that's not a bad idea. I don't know what time of year would be best, but not when they're wet. It doesn't really matter if they're used right away. So the timing of when the birds arrive or not, because there's some that are migratory, it doesn't really matter. That's unimportant. I guess when we've got available people and we need a project to do. It doesn't need any water. That's nice. You wouldn't want to do it in the rain or slipperiness. So probably anytime during the dry season is when we'll create those tree houses for birds. I think that sounds funny. Tree houses for birds.